What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where we talk all things real estate, business, entrepreneurship, and more. So today we're talking about the PPP loan. The PPP loan. There has been a major update that you guys need to be aware of. So for those of you who are wondering what exactly the PPP loan is, what am I talking about? I actually already did a video on what it is, how to apply, how to get it forgiven. You can watch that video by clicking right here or going to the link below. But essentially, it's called the Paycheck Protection Program, and it is part of a $2 trillion stimulus package from the government to small business owners. In my original video, I talked about how it's not only just limited to small business owners, but also to self-employed people as well. You don't need your traditional big small business. Even if you're a solopreneur, you probably qualify for it. And I talked about my experience with getting over $100,000 between the multiple businesses that I run. Obviously, getting money from the government is awesome, but the most attractive part of this is that it is completely forgivable if you use it the right way. Now, when they first announced it, the basic guidelines were you had to rehire all your employees, you had to spend at least 75% of it on employee payroll. The remaining 25% could be used towards rent payments, interest payments, utilities, those type of things. You had to do all of that within a 2-month period in order to get it forgiven. For a lot of businesses, that might have been tough. Maybe they had more overhead with their rent and not as many employees. Maybe they want to restructure their company and they don't want so many employees anymore. Maybe there's just jobs that aren't necessary and it doesn't really make sense to hire that type of person. Or maybe they had somebody they wanted to get rid of anyway, and so why bring them back just for the sake of bringing them back? Another issue that businesses have been having is actually rehiring the people that they want. There are so many people on unemployment right now who are making really good money. A lot of people are making more on unemployment than they were making at their job. So how do you convince somebody to come back and work for you if they don't want to, if they're making more? It's human nature to not want to work if you're getting paid more to do it, or even if you're getting paid the same or close to it. So a lot of these things have caused problems for employers like myself. How do you hire somebody back who does not want to come back? Also, you only have this very limited window of 2 months. Do you just go and hire somebody really quick so you can get forgiven? That's not a smart business decision. You should never just go hire someone for the sake of hiring someone. If you're a business owner, you want the most talented employees you can get, and that takes time. You should go through the process. You should interview people, which during this pandemic, it was pretty tough to interview people, right? It's kind of hard to vet people and call other employers when they're all going through these different struggles. They don't have time to take your call. Everyone else is trying to figure out how their business is going to survive. They don't really have time to go tell you how the old employee was. So there was a lot of things that were making forgiveness much more difficult than it first seemed. Personally, for us, we never fired anyone. In fact, we've hired more people because we're having so much more success and opportunity with house flipping right now due to what's going on. A lot of people want to sell. There's not much competition anymore. It's really good for us as a business. So we haven't had this issue with forgiveness and hiring people on. And if you want to hear more about how we're succeeding at this time, make sure you go and subscribe to this channel. We're going to talk more about our real estate investing strategies and what we're doing as a company to thrive during this time. And I should probably also throw it in there. Make sure you go and follow me on all the socials. You can find them right here below. But anyways, when it comes to forgiveness, we personally weren't having a problem, but I have heard many businesses who are, and Congress has heard you too. So in fact, on May 28th, the House voted to ease the forgiveness guidelines for small businesses. So I'm going to read from an article on CNBC. You could find it down below in the description. So on Thursday, the House passed a bill to give small business owners more flexibility with how they spend money from a key coronavirus aid program, the PPP. They voted 417 to 1. That makes me wonder, who was the one? 417 other people voting for this to help small businesses out. Who's the one weirdo that was voting against it? Why would you not want businesses to have more forgiveness with what's going on? You already gave them the money. Why would you not vote to help forgive so that they can thrive and employ more people? Anyways, this was part of a $2 trillion package, and they voted to reduce the percentage towards payroll from 75% down to 60%. This is huge because there's a lot of companies, as I said earlier, who may have much higher rent expenses, especially in these big cities or California or New York, where that's where a lot of their expense is coming, especially retail stores, right? This will also help the companies who are having a hard time convincing their employees to come back to work. because they're making so much on unemployment. So I think this is an awesome move. Very smart of the government. They also extended the window from 2 months to 6 months. And this is huge, especially for a lot of businesses who, as I said before, maybe don't want to hire back as many people. So now all of that money, instead of having to use it in 2 months on employees, you can spread it out over 6 months. And that means you don't have to hire back as many people. You're not in a rush to figure out how you're gonna spend this money. And also, it gives you time to make sure you're in compliance. I know for us, we're doing everything we can to make sure we're in compliance. And I actually own a CPA company for real estate investors. And I know that we're trying to do everything possible to make sure we're doing it right, but it's not easy. I can't imagine what it's like for most business owners right now who maybe aren't financially savvy. They own a business, it's more of a passion to them, and they have no idea if they're in compliance or not. So if you do need help with compliance, my company TrueBooks can help you. You could find us in the description below. Just go to our website and schedule a call. We'll do what we can to help you. A couple of other quick hits that they're doing. They're gonna extend the time that recipients have to repay the loan. If you weren't able to get everything completely forgiven, you're gonna have longer time. It's kind of vague on what exactly that means, but ideally you get it all forgiven so you don't have to repay it, so it doesn't even matter. That's the goal. Another quick bullet point, they're going to let companies that get loan forgiveness defer payroll taxes. That's great. That helps with cash flow as a business, not having to pay those payroll taxes initially. Now, you will have to pay them. That will not be forgiven. They're not saying they're gonna forgive payroll taxes. You're still gonna get taxed on it. It's just going to be down the road at some point. Once again, it's vague, but for right now, most businesses are struggling with cash flow. So anything that can give you more cash and less expenses right now during this time, it's a great thing. So all in all, these are awesome changes to the bill. They're going to help small businesses out. They're gonna keep a lot of people in business who would have otherwise failed with the current rules. And there's no reason that the government shouldn't do this. The whole point of this loan is to help businesses succeed and stay in business through this time. So they should be making it as easy as possible for businesses to do that. Now, I must add that this has just passed through the House. It still has to go through the Senate in order to get passed fully. That may happen by the time this video is actually released. I don't know. We'll see how good my editors are if they can put this out really quick. If the House voted 417-1, you have Democrats and Republicans all on the same page for this. I don't see why it won't get approved by the Senate. There's just no reason it shouldn't. So if you are a business, until it actually happens and is finalized, still proceed as if the original rules that I talked about in my first video are going on. But once they finalize this, it is very good for you guys. I would assume that the majority of businesses should get this loan forgiven. So I hope you guys enjoyed that update. As I said before, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We've got a ton more content coming out about real estate investing, all these different things that are happening with our economy. You guys do not want to miss out. Go follow me on all the socials. And until next time, peace.